Welcome, and today's guest on the Business Spotlight, Mr. Colin Hart. Colin Hart from the Public House. Colin, you're very welcome. Great to see you today.
Thank you.
So tell us, we're all dying to hear, what the hell do you guys do and how do you do
it? We are a strategic and creative ad agency here based in Dublin. We will focus in on, problems that clients have from a communications point of view. From a strategic point of view, we try to analyze it, figure out a solution, and then we take that into creative and create a hopefully distinctive way to promote that and grab people's attention and shift some product or change some attitudes or, help people to connect in some kind of way to, influence them to do whatever the problem needs to be solved, done.
Fantastic. And tell us, who would be, okay, I've seen your website now. It's a great website, by the way, guys. You want to have a look at it. It's very different. It's alternative. Give us an idea of the kind of clients that you would typically like to work with.
That I would like to work with, or we
you would like with it. I don't mean the names, but just the type, the sorts of companies that you like to work with.
Right. Okay. We like to work with clients who are up for shaking up the system a little bit, because a lot of the work that we do is, quite edgy and a bit daring. We would argue that the worst thing you could do is not be edgy within this market or any market. You have to. It's your kind of moral obligation to shake it up and, try and make a bit of noise and do something that's different and against the curve a little bit. So, we fight in this world of, we call it the attention economy. And if you look at attention as a kind of like an economic type thing, then actually we are an agency that try to get distinctivity into all the work that we do that gets people talking and as I say, sells stuff, and that's kind of the ultimate end goal. But we look for clients who are kind of up for that, because I totally get as well that within a lot of categories, people do want to remain the same and maybe they don't want to shake it up. But there's definitely people who are going, do you know what? I'm here and I know my category well enough and I'm ready to shake it up. And that's generally the clients that we enjoy working with.
So you're really working in the world to help them differentiate themselves from their competitors.
Yeah.
Make them stand out, make their brand more known, bring the brand through and say, hey, that's what they stand for. And as a matter of interest, how important to all of these clients today, other than making it visually nice and everything else, are there any things like this green economy and stuff? Is that important to people? Sustainability, is that important to a lot of your clients now?
For some people, I think you would hope, and for most of the clients that we have, it's at a minimum, it's housekeeping, and they would be going, listen, we are, on a goal for sustainability and all those kind of things. And I suppose in some categories it is, incredibly important. And actually, I think a lot of people just customers expect people to be, thinking in that world right now. We did some work with Board Nimona, actually, talking about their sustainability aspect, because that was a big part for them. But if you think about people like Cadbury and even Irish distillers, we do a lot of the whiskey work for Jameson, Redbreast, Method and Madness, all the global whiskey brands, and they have a huge thing around sustainability right now, and they are genuinely doing it. And I think that's the other part. Like we do interrogate our clients a little bit and go, are you really doing this? And they are actually doing it, and if they are doing it, great. But a lot of people do just talk about it, and we do check it out and make sure that it is legit.
And so are you an ad agency? Are you a brand agency? Are you a PR agency? How would you describe it?
We're an advertising agency.
Ad agency.
So we have branding capabilities, but we're quite focused on the two areas, which are strategy and creative. And as I say, we have a part of that. There's 40 of us, and we have a design team. We have a bigger team of creative guys, copywriters, art directors that work together. We've got, digital technologists, social people. And then obviously we've got a really good planning department within the strategy part. And they're the ones who are, trying to analyze all the information in the market and try and, differentiate clients. And then of course, account management, who are the people who keep relationships well and, make sure that they pretty much are the managers of the place and manage projects, and they, make the world work.
Fantastic. So tell us, obviously you went through COVID like everybody else and you came through the other side. Fantastic. Did it affect you much? And were there many changes that were forced upon you that you kept
Yeah.
when you
Well,
came through the other side?
obviously, huge changes for everybody. I was chatting to somebody the other day about it, and I don't know what's happened. We all think it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to set up a war memorial for it so that to remind us
Remind
of
us.
the stress-related psoriasis that we all went through, worrying that our businesses were going to implode and our families were all going to die. I mean, that was the reality at the time.
Yeah.
For some reason now, all I think about is those lovely Saturday nights where I had a bottle of wine and a takeout with my wife, and I'm like going, no, I was nearly dead at certain points. And I must be honest, like, I mean, anyone from the agency will probably laugh at this, but like, that kind of trying to keep up motivation, because obviously everyone was in the same place. Nobody knew what was going on. And you were sitting on, whip on a Monday morning, and, you're pretending like you're happy and everything's great, but actually in reality, you're in the fetal position crying in your head, so there was that side of it. But the business, interestingly, was we were all set up to be remote anyway. It wasn't that we weren't a remote office, but all of our stuff was on a cloud anyway, so we didn't really need to worry. So it was just about settling into a new way of doing it. But the first 3 months that we were working on that, we had 6 projects pulled, loads of St. Patrick's Day stuff for Paddy Power, the Cheltenham work that we had done with Colin. There was stuff for Irish distillers. We had actually done a huge project where we'd pretty much climbed to the top of Everest for a piece of content that all got pulled. There was loads of stuff got pulled, and then what we did was we settled down and went, what will happen here? There was no business. Everybody canned everything. Nobody knew what was going on. So we just went, let's work on a bunch of variables and see what might happen, and came up with a bunch of ideas for different clients proactively. And thankfully, lots of that actually happened, and they ended up doing a lot of that stuff. So, and we couldn't shoot anything, obviously. There's loads of things. We were desperately trying to find animation houses that could create content for us through, that world. It was really complicated. And again, part of it, the best part of it, I've kind of forgotten how painful it was, because now life's great.
Yeah, we come out the other side, but I think it's amazing. There's been a lot of change, but I think people are more open to change now because of it. I think it's actually helped.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of sad things that happen. People died, sadly, and all sorts of different things. But it's changed work practices, woken us up to what we can actually do in a hybrid fashion for some industries. It doesn't work in all, but it's woken us up. Oh, look, that change is possible, and we should embrace change. And because change is very difficult. It's one of the hardest things most businesses try to do. They find it very hard to change. It takes a while for that change to stick. Absolutely. So tell me, speaking of change, then, you became a business owner. How many years ago?
That was 12 years ago.
12 years ago. So you're about 16.
So naive that I thought it would be a great idea.
Yeah. So you're about 16 then, obviously. So 12 years ago. So what are the biggest, if somebody asked you now, so Colin, what's the biggest learning you've had since you became a business owner?
Well, I mean, there's positive learnings and negative learnings. The negative learnings are that I would never be able to, I can't do watercolor moments anymore. I used to love having an old moan about my boss and, in the kitchen or something like that. And now anytime I do moan about my boss, which is me, I have to do something about it. So I just add to my to-do list. So I don't like that. I mean, there's so many things that have changed. Like the responsibility thing is massive, but I also, I don't know, I love the idea of helping teams of people. And whenever, particularly in our industry, whenever a group of people do something that actually has a huge effect on people from an attitude or a perception or whatever that might be, through ad campaigns, through an idea that somebody's had, it's still that's the reason I got into the business in the first place. But I love that. That still gives me loads of passion for the industry that we work in. It's a really exciting industry, advertising. If it's good, we all know, and I'm not going to pretend, we know that the majority of advertising is shocking, and as in shocking bad, not shocking as in it shocked me so well to go and buy something. It's vast majority spam, but in and around that there's ideas in advertising that are brilliant, and people do look at it and they go, that's awesome. And we, as an agency, we try to compete in the global stage, and we've been recognized. We're the most critically awarded agency here in Ireland, and it's taken 12 years to do that. And as I say, we're not a big group of people, but we're punching well above our weight with regards to agencies with, 8 times our size, 10 times our size. So yeah, we love it. I mean, but as a business owner, that's the bit that gives me joy, to be honest. A lot of the other stuff, I'd be totally honest, doesn't give me that much joy, but that's what being a business owner is.
Well, obviously you've done a lot right, because you got 40 people in your team. That's a big team. A lot of payments on Friday, I'm sure. But having a great team is fantastic. That's so important. So tell me, looking at
they're worth every penny, right, if they're listening.
Of course they are. I knew you'd say that. I was giving you the opening there. Fantastic. We won't talk about the raises just yet. They'll have to have a good year for that. So the future of the industry in advertising, ChatGPT, all these things coming out, is that going to change the world? Are you going to leverage it as a tool? Or you just keep on coming up with your great ideas? What's the future of your business?
It's fairly new now. Like, I mean, so I don't really know how the industry is really going to leverage. I actually genuinely think that it's going to eliminate a whole bunch of average. So if you're in any way middle of the road in our game, or particularly copywriter role, like if you're, sitting and not really sure whether you're good or bad, you're definitely, I'd nearly suggest your job's irrelevant right now. But if you're good, like if you have your own ideas and you can marry, information, and cultural relevance, and make sure that things are with, conceptual thinking, like ChatGPT, it hasn't got into that yet. I mean, I don't know. It might learn that. It might learn that quite quickly, and then we're all out of jobs. But then the whole world's out of jobs, and solicitors, particularly, creatives, we're all gone. So, I mean, we should be very conscious of it. Like, I mean, it's incredibly advanced already. So I don't know if.
Well, I mean, we've had Bitcoin, or sorry, not Bitcoin, the platform it trades on, blockchain. And blockchain was going to wipe out a lot of them. Now, blockchain has been embraced by a lot of different industries, and it's going to come into the likes of insurance. It's going to come into the legal. It's going to come in. It's already in aircraft, airspace, all these different places. So there's it's a great tool that's going to change a lot of businesses. And that's the platform that Bitcoin is based on, not the coin itself. I love that. I think that I love embracing new technology. So this is really interesting, especially to people who might be too smart like me, because say, oh, ChatGPT, and I can go in and just get them to, write me a blog on this. Wouldn't that be super? Now, but where does you get to the point, and I'd be saying, well, how do I make myself stand out? Is that enough? Or is that human enough? Or is it too perfect? Or, they'd be the thoughts that would be going on in my head. But I'm going to fall into it, and I'm going to embrace it and see what happens there.
I agree.
So tell me, one of the last questions I'm going to ask you here, is there any offers that you'd like to make to people who are listening here? What sort of size would they need to be able to talk to you? Do you do any seminars or any meetings with potential clients?
We're open for business always, for opportunities that we feel, we can help, genuinely. I mean, we have helped small businesses from, 1 or 2 people right up to, as I say, the huge corporations that some of the banks that we've worked with. So we're open for business, but I suppose we'd love to have a chat with anybody who's interested, and we can show them a little bit about what it is that we do. And at the same time, you never know, that might work really nicely for them to, coming in, we know we can deliver really good work for people that gets noticed. That's, our mantra. That's how we've, grown to the size we are. It was myself and my dog who's just sitting here above the Bernard Shaw pub 12 years ago. So it's not like, we know we're good at it. And we have added lots of revenue to our clients through good, strong communication. So we know we can do it. And if anybody's interested in having a chat, then more than happy to do that.
So guys, get on to publichouse.ie. Yeah, I can certainly say I've on the other screen beside me here, their website, and it's very different. And that's actually refreshing, because if you have something different, that means you're standing out. So very impressed so far. Colin Hart, thank you so much for your time today coming on this Business Spotlight. Guys, have a look at this website, publichouse.ie, and it may be for you. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks.